Welcome back to the channel. Imagine this. You're giving everything you've got, your time, your energy, your heart, all to show how much you care. You think that by proving your love and devotion, they'll reciprocate. But instead, something strange happens. The more you try, the more they pull away. The harder you chase, the faster they run. You're left confused, hurt, and asking yourself, what did I do wrong? It feels unfair, doesn't it? After all, isn't love about giving? Isn't it about showing you care? But here's the harsh truth. No, one tells you that caring too much, too soon, or too often can actually backfire. When you overinvest, your efforts become expected, your presence taken for granted, and instead of earning their love, you lose their respect. Now, here's the twist. What if the solution wasn't to give more, but to give less? What if stepping back, embracing silence, and focusing on yourself could make them truly realize your worth? What if the secret to earning their love wasn't in chasing them, but in mastering the art of detachment? In this video, we're diving deep into why pulling back is the most powerful move you can make. You'll learn how stepping away doesn't mean giving up, but reclaiming your value. By the end, you'll see that letting go isn't about losing, it's about winning on your terms. So, if you've ever felt overlooked, underappreciated, or stuck in a one-sided relationship, stay with me. The insights I'm about to share will shift your perspective and change the way you approach relationships forever. The power of absence. When you're always there for someone, always available, always giving, they start to see your presence as constant, almost guaranteed. It's human nature to overlook what is always within reach. Think about it. Do we ever pause to appreciate the sun shining brightly every day? Not until a cloudy sky reminds us of its warmth. This is the power of absence. When you step back, you create a void, a silence they can no longer ignore. Your absence disrupts the rhythm of their expectations. Suddenly, the comfort of your presence, the reliability of your care, is gone. And it's in this absence that they begin to feel the weight of what they've taken for granted. Absence forces reflection. It makes people realize what they had, often for the first time. The compliments you gave, the support you offered, the laughter you brought into their life. These things become magnified when they are no longer readily available. Absence creates a contrast that presence alone never can. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about balance. When you're always there, your value can become invisible. But when you step back, they are given the chance to appreciate the energy, effort, and love you brought into their life. Absence also allows you to reclaim your power. It gives you space to focus on yourself, to grow, and to rediscover your own worth. As you pull back, you radiate confidence and independence, which naturally draws others toward you. Remember, you can't be missed if you're always there. Absence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you respect yourself enough to let others realize your value on their own. And when they do, your presence will no longer feel like an option. It will feel like a privilege. 2. The need for detachment. Caring deeply for someone is a beautiful thing. It's a sign of strength, empathy, and connection. But when that care crosses the line into over-attachment, it stops being healthy. It becomes a source of imbalance, one where your emotional well-being depends entirely on their responses, their moods, or their attention. And that's where the trouble begins. Detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's not about shutting people out or refusing to care. Detachment at its core is about creating a healthy space between your emotions and their actions. It's about freeing yourself from the constant need for validation and understanding that your worth is not tied to how someone else treats you. When you care too much, you inadvertently give away your power. You make their approval, affection, and attention the center of your world. But here's the truth. Love that thrives on constant sacrifice isn't love. It's dependency. And dependency leads to insecurity, anxiety, and resentment. Detachment, on the other hand, allows you to reclaim your inner peace. It's the art of loving someone without losing yourself in the process. It's recognizing that you can't control their feelings or actions, only your own. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we suffer more from our attachment to outcomes than from the outcomes themselves. When you detach, you shift your focus inward. You start to prioritize your growth, your happiness, and your goals. This quiet strength radiates confidence, and ironically, it's this independence that makes you more attractive to others. By stepping back, you stop chasing and start attracting. You break free from the exhausting cycle of overgiving and instead become someone who commands respect and admiration simply by valuing yourself. 3. Why space creates longing. Have you ever noticed how something becomes more valuable the moment it's no longer available? Think about a favorite song you haven't heard in years, or a loved one you haven't seen in a while. That distance, that gap, creates a sense of longing, a desire to fill the void left behind. This same principle applies to relationships. When you're always available, always present, and always giving, it becomes easy for people to take you for. Your constant presence removes any sense of mystery, any reason for them to wonder or miss you. It's human nature to undervalue what's abundant and crave what feels scarce. Stepping back and creating space introduces something vital: uncertainty. Suddenly, you're no longer predictable. They begin to wonder, why have you pulled away? Are you losing interest? Are you focusing on yourself? Are they at risk of losing you? These unanswered questions trigger curiosity and, ultimately, longing. Psychologically, space works because it taps into the brain's reward system. People are more likely to desire something they have to work for or something that feels just out of reach. When you step back, you shift the dynamics. Instead of you chasing them, they start chasing the feeling of closeness they once had with you. But the power of space isn't just about making them miss you, it's about giving yourself the chance to refocus. By pulling away, you create room for your own growth, your own peace, and your own priorities. And when they do feel your absence, they start to realize how much your presence meant all along. In the silence and distance you create, they begin to see the value of what they once had. And that's when longing turns into genuine appreciation. 4. How to step back. Effectively stepping back is not about ghosting someone or engaging in manipulative games. It's about reclaiming your time, energy, and self-respect. It's about intentionally creating space to refocus on yourself while allowing the other person to experience your absence. When done the right way, stepping back doesn't come off as petty or spiteful. Instead, it radiates confidence and self-worth. Here's how to do it effectively. Limit communication. Stop being the one to initiate conversations. If they've grown used to you always being available or reaching out first, this small shift will catch their attention. Give them the opportunity to notice the silence and make the effort to contact you. Don't feel obligated to reply instantly. Let them realize that your time is valuable. Focus on yourself. The most powerful way to step back is to redirect your attention to your own growth. Dive into your hobbies, work on personal goals, hit the gym, or learn a new skill. When you invest in yourself, you radiate confidence, and people can't help but be drawn to your energy. By building a fulfilling life outside of the relationship, you show them that you're not dependent on their presence for your happiness. Avoid over-explaining. You don't need to justify your decision to step back. Over-explaining can dilute the impact and make it seem like you're seeking validation. Let your actions speak louder than words. A subtle shift in your behavior is often more powerful than any long conversation. Set boundaries. If they've taken your kindness for granted, it's time to draw clear boundaries. Say no when necessary and stand firm. Boundaries show that you respect yourself, and people who respect you will rise to meet them. By stepping back with intention and purpose, you shift the dynamic. You allow them to realize your value and understand that your presence is a gift, not a given. 5. The transformation. When you step back and stop overextending yourself, a powerful transformation begins, not just for you, but for them as well. The dynamics of your relationships start to shift in ways you might not expect. Let's start with them. At first, they may not notice your absence. They might carry on as usual, assuming you'll always be there, ready to care for them or make the first move. But then, as time goes on, something strange happens. The absence of your constant attention starts to feel like a void in their life. They'll begin to reflect on what you brought to the table, your kindness, your support, and your unique presence. The things they once took for granted become crystal clear. They may not admit it right away, but they'll realize how much value you added to their life. Your withdrawal creates space for them to understand the weight of your contributions and the impact of your presence. But this transformation isn't just about them, it's about you. By stepping back, you reclaim your power. You stop measuring your worth by someone else's validation. Instead, you channel your energy into your personal growth, your passions, and your happiness. This shift in focus radiates confidence and self-respect, qualities that naturally draw others toward you. And here's the beauty of it. As you grow stronger, they begin to see you in a new light. You're no longer the person who gives endlessly without expecting anything in return. You're someone with boundaries, someone who values themselves, someone they now have to work to earn back. This transformation isn't just about changing their perception. It's about changing the way you see yourself. And in that change lies the real power, the power to attract, inspire, and command respect, not by chasing love, but by embodying it. 6. When they start chasing you. The moment you step back and stop caring excessively, something remarkable begins to happen. At first, they may not notice your absence. They might even think you'll return just like before. But as days pass, the silence starts to get louder. That constant attention they once took for granted is no longer there. They begin to feel the void. They notice the lack of your texts, your calls, and your effort to keep things together. It's as if a mirror is held up, forcing them to reflect on how much you were doing for them and how little they were giving in return. Suddenly, your absence becomes an undeniable presence in their mind. Here's where the shift happens. They start wondering, why did they stop reaching out? Are they moving on? Have they found someone better? This uncertainty creates a sense of urgency. Curiosity turns into longing, and longing turns into action. They may try to reconnect, sending you messages or calling, looking for a way to regain your attention. But here's the key. Don't rush back the moment they show interest. This is the moment when your value is truly tested. If they're genuinely interested, they'll make an effort, not just to get your attention, but to earn it. Their actions will speak louder than their words. The tables have turned, and now they are the ones chasing. They realize that your presence was never a guarantee, it was a gift. And gifts, once lost, are hard to replace. But remember, the goal isn't to make them desperate for you. It's about creating balance. You've shown them that you respect yourself enough to walk away, and in doing so, you've earned their respect and possibly their love in return. Remember, stepping back isn't about giving up. It's about reclaiming your worth. By focusing on yourself, you not only grow stronger, but also inspire others to value and respect you. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button to support the channel and subscribe for more wisdom rooted in Stoicism and self-mastery. And before you go, let me know in the comments, have you ever stepped back from someone, and how did it change the dynamic? This is the channel, reminding you that the most powerful love you can give starts with loving yourself.